Sensory and Perceptual Development by Lily Llewellyn. Perception versus sense. Perception is how infants interpret sensory information. Not only this, but it's also how they interpret the information and choose to respond to it. Sense is what helps us gather information about our environment. For example, if we had our eyes closed and bent down and touched the ground and felt grass, we could say we were outside. Perception and sense are related because the sense is what we feel about the outside world and helps us to know what it's like, while perception is where our brain takes the information our senses gives us and it interprets it. The senses. We have 7 senses. Now, when we're born, they aren't always there, but they form as we grow and get older, or they form off one another. The 7 senses we have are vision, hearing, smell, taste, touch, balance, and body awareness. The senses are in this order. Hearing starts on early in the pregnancy. Then the taste buds start to form about 30 weeks into the pregnancy. Once the baby is born, it can start seeing about 1 week in. The next sense to come is touch/body awareness, which is anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. The last sense to form is smell, which begins at 10 weeks. Now, balance doesn't start till 4 to 6 months, but some things can lead up to it. For example, a baby holding up their head makes their muscles stronger, which is needed for good balance because they need balance to sit up. It is majorly important to note that all the senses play a major role in development. They are important for the baby's well-being because they start the platform for a child's learning and in perception. For example, it encourages them to learn through exploring, curiosity, creativity, and problem solving. Vision and perception. Vision plays a major role in perception. When babies are born, they can only see things that are right in front of them. If you want a baby to see something, it has to be around 8 to 10 inches from their face, or about the distance of their parents' faces. This shows that their vision isn't fully there and that it will improve later as they get older. For example, about a month after the baby is born, they start to have hand-eye coordination. The baby can track 2 images and can follow the objects. Soon after that, they can look at objects next to them and take in detail. This is where perception plays an important role. By doing this, they can see what their parents look like and it can interpret what they see. Object permanence. Object permanence is the ability for babies to understand that if they see an object and it goes away, it is still there. Without this, they don't have a perception. A famous example of this is when playing hide and seek with the baby and you cover your face and the baby looks away. Because if they can't see it, it's not there. This means they don't have object permanence. This theory was created by psychologist Jean Piaget. He did this by showing a baby a toy and then taking it away and hiding it while they were still watching. He then would observe the baby, and often they would just find a different toy if they didn't have object permanence. This plays an important role because if they don't have object permanence, then they can't interpret the things around them. Now, while this is more found in older infants, it can also be found in younger infants by using pop-up books. Now, they might not get it the first time, but the more and more you do it, it'll help them grow their brain and they will eventually learn it. Smell and perception. Smell influences perception because if they like the smell or not, they will interpret it. By doing so, they will either make a face or not depending on how they feel about the smell. Not only this, but this stays with us later on. For example, if you give a baby a smell they don't like multiple times, the baby will make a face and recognize the smell later on. As babies get older, the perception of smell starts to change. To add to this, babies can have total loss of smell, meaning they can't smell at all, or they can have partial smell loss, meaning they just can't smell for some time or they can't smell certain things at the time. Body awareness. Body awareness is knowing your body and how it moves together and where everything is. This plays a vital role in touch because without knowing where things are, you won't know that you are touching things, meaning you won't interpret the information. Body awareness is the baby finding their hands and feet and often finding their tongues. Also, body awareness helps babies understand that they can hold and shake things. Now, it might take a little time for them to learn, but it's them learning their body awareness. Touch and perception. Tactile is often a word for touching things. Touch plays an important role in perception because the more they touch things and discover things, the more they understand, because more touching creates more sensory pads on their hands.